Good morning, dear students. Today we are continuing with the Code of Conduct of Directors. First thing that we have to bear in our mind is that the directors they should not use the company or company's information or anything like that for their personal gain or for insider training. Insider training means getting a personal benefit by using the business of the company. The director is obtaining a personal benefit. Such type of insider trading are not supposed to be conducted by the directors. Then they are not use their capacity as a director for any other personal gains or something like that, or in order to get an advantage for him. He's utilizing his capacity that he's the director of a particular company. That cannot be performed or do by this type of directors. The next code of conduct is to avoid conflict of interest between personal interest and the company. The directors should always work for the interest of the company and not for the personal interest. And next is to maintain the reputation of the organization and to do anything that could do not do anything that would dishonor the company. If he or she is the director of that particular company, his behavior, his code of conduct, everything must be in such a way that he must act in such a way in order to improve the reputation of the organization. You should not do anything to reduce the image or goodwill of the company. Then next one is to follow the lead and orders of the CEO. It is his obligation to follow the orders given by the chief executive officer, not to go against him. And next is to attend all the board meetings. And he must he or she is not supposed to keep mum or dumb in a meeting. They are supposed to provide their ideas, their insights, their viewpoints regarding every matter, every agenda that is to be discussed in the general staff meeting. Okay, not in general staff meeting, I mean in this board meetings. Okay, next is respect the authority of fellow colleagues. The respect must be followed in a policy of give and take. They have to give their fellow colleagues, fellow directors, employees, every members of their organization have to be treated in a well manner, and they have to debate. Debate is not in a negative sense. They have to debate in a logical way. That is, only if you are debating or if you are brainstorming ourselves, then only we will get the good decision. So in that sense, we have to debate with other directors as well as the fellow colleagues and employees in order to get the maximum approval or support for our part. We have to debate. Next is to maintain confidentiality about the important company information. As a director, he may have to go through several secret documents and strategies of that particular company, and he is not supposed to leak this type of sensitive, delicate information to the company's competitors or any others for the detrimental purpose. Okay. Next is to accept the decisions once they have been passed. Once the decision is passed in the board of a meeting, then all the directors are about to accept their decisions. Then act in an honest, professional and respectful manner with members of the board. They have to be act with great sincerity and dedication, and professional ethics have to be followed with all other directors as well as the employees of the company. Then you have to recognize all his activities. All his performance or activities are leading or in a way that will ensure the proper growth and development of the company. And he must perform all the duties, obligations on his shoulder as in the capacity of a director. So, code of conduct is an effective tool to define the things. That is, the directors are to understand his own capacity, his own power, as well as his duties and responsibilities, and he must behave in an appropriate manner. So we are moving on to the next topic, that is key managerial personnel. So here the key managerial personnel means group of persons who is responsible for planning, directing and controlling a company. In short, key managerial personnel can be considered as KMP, and in accounting standard 18 we are dealing with this KMP or key managerial personnel. And this group of persons includes CEO, Chief Executive Officer, CFO, Chief Financial Officer, Company Secretary, Whole-Time Director, they are considered as the key managerial personnel, and they are supposed to take decisions for the smooth functioning of the company. Actually, the other members of board of directors are not necessarily involved in the day-to-day affairs of the company. All the board of directors may help the firm to set the goals and objectives, and ultimately this key managerial personnel, they are responsible. They are the actual person who works towards this goal or helps the board members or the company to achieve the goals already fixed in the board meeting. So in section 2 of the Companies Act 2013, this section is dealing with the KMP, key managerial personnel, and they are, as we discussed in the previous slide, we can see they are CEO or managing director, company secretary, whole-time director and chief financial officer. So here we are going to see the key managerial personnel under section 2 of Companies Act 2013 in detail. First one is Chief Executive Officer, CEO or Managing Director. So the Managing Director is responsible for everything for the running of the company, or he is responsible to direct the company towards the ultimate goal of the organization, and he has the authority for overall operation, and as the most powerful man or key person in an organization or in the managerial hierarchy is CEO or Managing Director. He is also responsible for innovating the strategies. He can suggest something for the growth of the company for long-term success, or for large-scale operation. He can suggest something good. And in many countries, a managing director is also called as CEO. So we can use the term interchangeably. Next key person is company secretary, and he is considered as the senior level employee, and he is responsible to look after the legal aspects of administration of a particular company, and he have to take care all the complaints regarding the statutory regulatory requirements have to be fulfilled. If നിയമപരമായിട്ടുള്ള എന്തെങ്കിലും കാര്യം വരുമ്പോൾ അതിന്റെ ഫൈനൽ വേർഡ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് കമ്പനി സെക്രട്ടറി ആണ്. അപ്പോൾ ലീഗലി അത് വാലിഡ് ആണോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നിയമപരമായിട്ട് അതിന് എന്തെങ്കിലും അപാകതകൾ ഉണ്ടോ ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു തീരുമാനം എടുത്താൽ, ഇങ്ങനെയുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഉത്തരം പറയേണ്ടത് കമ്പനി സെക്രട്ടറി ആയിരിക്കും. നെക്സ്റ്റ് ഇസ് ഹോൾ ടൈം ഡയറക്ടർ. Whole-time director എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മൾ മുൻപ് കണ്ടതാണ് ടൈപ്പ് ഓഫ് ഡയറക്ടേഴ്സ് കണ്ടപ്പോൾ. He's different from that of an independent director because he's working full time for the company. His whole working hours he will be in the company. Okay, and from the name itself you can assess that he have particular significant stake, interest, monetary interest in that particular company. Last person in the key managerial personnel is Chief Financial Officer or CFO. He is also considered as a senior level executive, and he is responsible for maintaining the financial status of the company. That is, he is supposed to maintain all the financial documents like cash flow, fund flow, operation statements, financial planning, what they have to do as management. They have to support the management accountant to plan the financial aspects of a particular company, and to create contingency plans, short-term, long-term plans, financial plans, how to overcome the financial crisis. ഇതൊക്കെ പ്ലാൻ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരാളാണ് CFO എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ഇപ്പോൾ കോവിഡിന്റെ സമയം വരുമ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ ഈ ഉണ്ടായിട്ടുള്ള ഫിനാൻഷ്യൽ ക്രൈസിസിനെ ഓവർകം ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് എന്തൊക്കെ സ്ട്രാറ്റജീസ് അഡോപ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാം, ഇങ്ങനെയുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെയാണ് ഇയാൾ ഡീൽ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. And regarding the appointment of key managerial personnel in Companies Act 2013, Section 203 is dealing with this provisions of the appointment of key managerial person. Who is responsible for the appointment of KMP? Board of Directors. Board of Directors is responsible to fill any vacancies in KMP. That is the position that we have already discussed earlier in the previous slides, that have to be filled by the Board of Directors within 6 months. ഒരു വേക്കൻസി ഉണ്ടായി ഇപ്പോൾ ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരാൾ റിട്ടയർ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ എനിക്കൊക്കെ ചെയ്തിട്ട് ആ ഒരു വേക്കൻസി within 6 months the board of directors fill ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടായിരിക്കണം. And listed companies അതുപോലെ തന്നെ companies with a paid up capital of equal to or more than 10 crores they must appoint about 10 KMP persons ഉണ്ടായിരിക്കണം അവിടെ. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ കമ്പനി വിത്ത് അറ്റ്ലീസ്റ്റ് 5 crores paid up capital ആണ് ഉള്ളവർ എന്തായാലും ഒരു ഫുൾ ടൈം കമ്പനി സെക്രട്ടറിനെയും എന്താണ് ഇവിടെ കമ്പനിയിൽ അപ്പോയിന്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടായിരിക്കണം. Next, let's see the last topic in this video lecture, that is duties and responsibilities of a key management personnel. Ultimately, the key managerial persons are working for the growth and development of a company, and the prosperity of the company depends upon the effectiveness of this KMP. So the main responsibilities and functions of KMP are, according to section 170 of the Companies Act 2013, this KMP or the key managerial persons are responsible to disclose their holdings in a particular company or the subsidiary companies. ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു ഇതിൻ്റെ തന്നെ ഹോൾഡിംഗ് കമ്പനിയിലോ സബ്സിഡിയറി കമ്പനിയിലോ ഒക്കെ എന്താണ് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു സെക്യൂരിറ്റി ഇവരെ ഹോൾഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ that have to be disclosed and that must be recorded in the register with the registrar. Okay. Then അടുത്തെന്ന് പറയുന്നത് they don't have the voting right, but they have the right to raise their voice against the they have to raise their voice to express their opinion in any type of company meeting. For example, audit committee meeting, different committees ആണ് പഠിക്കാൻ പോകുന്നത്. സോ അതിലൊരു എക്സാമ്പിൾ ആണ് നമ്മൾ പറയുന്നത്. ഓഡിറ്റ് കമ്മിറ്റി മീറ്റിംഗിൽ അവരുടെ റൈറ്റ്സ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അവരുടെ ശരിയെന്ന് തോന്നുന്ന പോയിന്റുകൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യാം അവർക്ക് സമർപ്പിക്കാനായിട്ട് സാധിക്കും. ഇനി കമ്പനി ആക്ട് 2013 സെക്ഷൻ 189 പറയുന്നത് ഇതാണ്, they have to disclose their interest in other companies. മറ്റ് ഇപ്പൊ നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞു ഇതേ കമ്പനിയുടെ സബ്സിഡിയറീസിലോ ഹോൾഡിംഗ് കമ്പനീസിലോ ഒക്കെ അവർ സെക്യൂരിറ്റീസ് ഹോൾഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്, ഷെയർസ് ഹോൾഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അത് ഡിസ്ക്ലോസ് ചെയ്യാമെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. അതേപോലെ തന്നെ മറ്റ് കമ്പനികൾ ഇതും അല്ലാണ്ട് വേറെ ഏതെങ്കിലും അസോസിയേഷൻസോ കമ്പനീസോ ഒക്കെ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഐ മീൻ മോണിറ്ററി interest ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ they have to be disclosed within 30 days of the start of the employment period. ഇയാൾ ഇവിടെ KMP ആയിട്ട് വർക്ക് ചെയ്ത് തുടങ്ങി 30 ദിവസത്തിനുള്ളിൽ ഇയാളുടെ മറ്റ് കമ്പനികളിലെ ഇയാൾക്കുള്ള ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് മീൻസ് അതിന് എന്തൊക്കെ പ്രോഫിറ്റ് ആയിട്ടോ മോണിറ്ററി benefits എന്തൊക്കെ എൻജോയ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടോ that have to be disclosed by the key managerial personnel. Okay, thank you. With this, I am concluding today's class. In our next class, we'll be dealing with role of secretary in the company.